Howdy, Travis from KnowHow here. Over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the best way of training and equipping new and seasoned staff in any labor services industry. The best part is it takes mere minutes to set up. Let's get started. All right, so let's say I have a new team member named Pedro that's joining on Monday, and I want to make sure that Pedro has rock solid training and onboarding that goes over everything he needs to learn to be a great water mitigation technician. Well, the normal way of doing things is maybe you get him to shadow some other seasoned person in the company, or maybe you put some documents in front of him, or send him to an LMS and he kind of like half watches, half texts on his phone when no one's looking. None of that is what you have to worry about, because KnowHow delivers crystal clear, rock solid onboarding, and I'm going to show you how it works. Let's look at my KnowHow hub here. This is a brand spanking new KnowHow hub that we just signed in, and I want to show you how quick and easy it is to get Pedro rock solid training. So what I'm going to do is click Add Edit Workflow. This is like a playlist of processes that you can create to be its own training material. And so here are all the training workflows that you have instant access to with your KnowHow subscription. You'll probably have some other ones as well as you continue to build out your KnowHow, but these are just off-the-shelf templated training materials. You can see we have it for specific softwares you could use in the restoration industry, how to do a certain type of job, new role hiring, mold remediation, assistant superintendent, estimator, project manager. But in this case, Pedro is a water mitigation technician. So I'm going to click this one here and import it into my San Antonio Restoration Hub so that anyone can use it. And I got a few badges along the way. We'll come back to those in a little bit. So I'm going to call this Pedro Martinez new training. And then Pedro starts on Monday. So I'm going to make that the 20th there. And I'm going to import this workflow into my organization and set it up. And this is the step-by-step training guide for Pedro to become a rock-solid new water mitigation technician. So you can see here, the first thing that we want him to do as a water mitigation technician, learn how to file expense requests, resolve client complaints. Tuesday is all about PPE, how to don a respirator, the full PPE, how to inspect PPE. Wednesday, we're talking a little bit more about the fundamentals of how to do the job right. Understand the classes of respirators, water mitigation, scope sheets, monitoring water loss. And it just keeps going and going. Step-by-step guides that Pedro needs to learn in order to do his job well. Now, let's say, for example, I don't think it's necessary that Pedro learns how to file an expense request or resolve a client complaint. I'm just going to delete them. Just like that, it's gone from Pedro's training. Let's say I don't want him to learn how to don and doff a respirator and do some of these on Tuesday. I want him to do them instead on Thursday. I'm just going to drag them down there. If I want to edit any of these processes, I can do that too. I'll show you how to do that. But for now, let's say this looks good. And what we're going to do is we're going to assign it to Pedro. I'm just going to punch in Pedro's email here. And this is going to send Pedro an email that lets him know, hey, Pedro, you've been added to KnowHow, and we have a crystal clear, rock solid training and onboarding plan ready for you. And all you have to do is click this link to get started. If you haven't seen what KnowHow looks like from Pedro's point of view, you're missing out. So make sure you go check out our previous video. And if you want to see your own fully customizable KnowHow hub, give us a shout and we'll hook you up with a free trial today.